Welcome to our first edition of our film magazine programme Close Up. Tonight we're joined by three guests: Alistair Richardson, Kate Crichton and Warren Schwind. We challenged them to choose one aspect of movie making and for each to produce a short film. So without further ado, let's take a look at our first film. Alistair, what's your film called?
It's called Gangs, Guns and Baseball Bats. It's a film noir.
Sounds interesting. This is for all you aficionados out there. Take a look at this.
There's something about women that I'll never understand. You give them everything they want, but they still want more.
How do you do, Mrs. Moore?
Oh, I'm fine, Vito. Hey, you can call me Lucy. Want a drink?
Go on then, if you're going to twist my arm.
Cheers. I'm afraid this is going to have to be somewhat of a formal visit. It's about your career. Now, I know the sky's the limit for you and all you have to do is play your cards right, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to deal you a bad hand. I've had a good look at your background. And haven't you been a naughty boy, Vito?
What's this all about? You've been checking up on me.
Exactly. You were an angry young man, weren't you? Gangs, guns, and baseball bats. A friend in the force managed to rustle up some past records on you.
I don't have to sit around here and take this crap from you.
Why? Got a guilty conscience? Anyway, you better listen to me, because I've got formal evidence incriminating you of a guy that died because of the injuries due to a baseball bat.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, it's nothing personal. I just want my husband dead. Do you realize the huge amounts of money this guy's got in the bank, Vito? He doesn't want it, really. He just lets it rot in a pile. I'd do something with it. I want it, and he won't let me have it. That was great, Ali. Fantastic. Tell me, can you explain to me what film noir is exactly?
Well, after watching a lot of film noir movies in my research, I discovered there was three major features. The first one was low-key lighting, where the subject would be backlit, but there'd be no, there wouldn't be any sort of filling lights. It'd all be single source lights, creating interesting shadows and effects. When there was a shot of the house, we placed a redhead behind a tree, which lit up all the shadows of the leaves onto the surface. And I was walking down, if you remember, towards the house, and it made me look small and sort of alienated almost, which was another aspect of the film.
Fantastic shot, I love that shot.
Yeah, and it was moving, and it was making it look mysterious. And then the second feature was voiceover, and a lot of the time that was to do with the main protagonist's thoughts, and so I had to have it over instead of him actually saying it, it had to be through the background. At the beginning, the first scene I was sitting there smoking a cigarette, and a voice came on, and it was talking about women, and I wanted to try, that was me thinking, that was the protagonist. And then the third main feature was to do with femme fatale, where the woman is usually portrayed as being beautiful and innocent, but but you find out towards the end that she's not really beautiful, and she's not she's evil, really. She's a bit of a manipulator.
Not corrupt and evil, really honest.
I noticed in the film actually that right at the end, you have Vito stands up, but you have a point of view shot, then sitting down up to Lucy, and I was wondering what that means.
It was intentional, really. I decided to have the camera pointing up at her, so that she'd look dominating and intimidating, and the light was angled at the similar angle, so you had the shadows on her face it was all to do with you know, her looking dominant, really.
Is that why it had all that like weird lighting, you know, through the trees and what have you? Is that to like emphasise?
Yeah, it was really to emphasise the main feature, you know, the low-key lighting, to try and get as many shadows and as much of a contrast as I could do between the light and the shade.
Is that to create like mystery and?
Yeah, it was really, yeah. It's that's a lot to do with film noir, really. It's quite a mysterious sort of unknowing type, and I try to emphasise that.
Well, thanks, Ali.